This is Arkies in the Beltway, your look at national politics and the Arkansans influencing the discussions. I'm Alex Thomas, Washington correspondent for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, reporting from the nation's capital. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Arkies in the Beltway for the week of February 2nd, 2025. One of last week's biggest stories from Washington, the White House enacting, then walking back, a memo affecting federal loans and grants. The Office of Budget and Management issued the original memo last Monday, freezing these funds as Donald Trump's administration reviews programs addressing climate change and diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. The order caused nationwide confusion and triggered legal challenges. The Budget Office rescinded the memo last Wednesday, with the Trump administration insisting the decision allows agencies to execute the president's plans as it relates to controlling federal spending. The House of Representatives away from the nation's capital last week, the Senate stayed busy continuing its consideration of the president's picks for his administration. Former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard appeared before the Senate Intelligence Committee last Thursday as the nominee for the Director of National Intelligence. The director and its office help coordinate work among 18 intelligence agencies and provide the White House with intelligence information. Gabbard represented the Aloha State on Capitol Hill from January 2013 to January 2021, and she was a Democratic presidential candidate in the 2020 election cycle. She left the Democratic Party in 2022, becoming a staunch supporter of Trump and like-minded political candidates. Gabbard currently is a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves, serving as a battalion commander for a regiment including soldiers from Arkansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. She told senators her background gives her an understanding of the national security challenges facing the United States.
So I know firsthand how essential accurate, unbiased, and timely intelligence is to the president, to Congress, and to our warfighters. I also know the heavy cost of intelligence failures and abuses.
Gabbard promised lawmakers she would handle the job not as a political ally of the president, but as an objective official ensuring the White House has thorough analysis on national security threats.
Ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people is a mandate of leadership that rises above partisan politics. I've confirmed my commitment to the president, to you, and to the American people is this: I will do my very best to find the truth, no matter where it leads, and share that truth with President Trump, his advisors, and you in Congress, providing you with that unbiased, timely, and accurate intelligence as you make the tough decisions that'll impact the safety, security, and freedom of the American people.
Senator Tom Cotton of Little Rock wields the gavel on the Senate Intelligence Committee. He began last Thursday's hearing by calling for change to bureaucracy within the intelligence community.
Congress in no way wanted yet another unruly bureaucracy layered on top of an already bureaucratic intelligence community. Unfortunately, 20 years later, that's exactly what the ODNI has become.
When Cotton had an opportunity to ask Gabbard about her positions, he sought a commitment to implement his vision.
Will you commit today to working with this committee to restoring the ODNI to its original size, scope, and function?
Yes, Senator, I look forward to working with you and the committee as I, if confirmed, assess the current status of who is working in the ODNI and the function that they fulfill to make sure of its effectiveness and elimination of redundancies and bloating.
Gabbard has been one of Trump's more controversial nominees because of her past actions and remarks. In 2017, she met with then-Syrian President Bashar Assad amid Syria's civil war. She previously expressed doubts about the Assad regime using chemical weapons on the Syrian people. Gabbard discussed her trip and meeting with Assad in an exchange with New Mexico Senator Martin Heinrich.
Just in complete hindsight, would you view this trip as good judgment?
Yes, Senator, and I believe that leaders, whether you be in Congress or the President of the United States, can benefit greatly by going and engaging, boots on the ground, learning and listening and meeting directly with people, whether they be adversaries or friends.
Gabbard additionally acknowledged the U.S. intelligence assessment that Assad was responsible for multiple chemical weapon attacks targeting Syrians. Another issue involves Edward Snowden, the former National Security Agency contractor who published classified information regarding the agency's activities. In the House, Gabbard called on the federal government to drop charges against Snowden. Oklahoma Senator James Lankford with this question for Gabbard.
Was he a traitor at the time when he took America's secrets, released them in public, and then ran to China and became a Russian citizen?
Senator, I'm focused on the future and how we can prevent something like this from happening again.
Colorado Senator Michael Bennet further pressed Gabbard on whether Snowden is a traitor.
That is not a hard question to answer when the stakes are this high.
Senator, as someone who has
your
served
answer,
in
yes
uniform,
or no, is Edward Snowden a traitor to the United States of America?
Gabbard also proposed legislation calling for a repeal of Section 702, a portion of federal law allowing U.S. intelligence agencies to collect information from foreign adversaries believed to be residing outside of the United States. As Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine, Gabbard blamed the Biden administration and NATO for justifying the attack amid increased interest in getting Ukraine in the transnational military alliance. Virginia Senator Mark Warner is the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee. He expressed skepticism about Gabbard's ability to instill confidence within the intelligence community.
I salute your service to our country, but I have serious doubts about your judgment.
Before senators went into a closed session with Gabbard, Cotton said he intends for the committee to vote on Gabbard's nomination as soon as possible. Two other controversial choices for the new administration also face senators. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. appeared before the Senate Finance Committee and the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee on separate days. Trump selected Kennedy to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy has faced ongoing criticism with increased focus on his past statements, doubting not just the safety of vaccines, but also the scientific consensus of vaccines not causing autism. Kennedy has argued that he is not anti-vaccine. Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, a physician before entering Congress and the chair of the Senate Health Committee, during last Thursday's hearing.
I recognize, man, if you come out unequivocally, vaccines are safe, it does not cause autism, that would have an incredible impact. That's your power. So what's it going to be? Will it be using the credibility to support lots of articles? Or will it be using credibility to undermine?
The other controversial pick, Kash Patel as FBI director. Democratic senators have raised concerns about Patel's previous comments, demonizing Democrats and people who have criticized the president. Patel spent time before the Senate Judiciary Committee last Thursday, stating he will not use the agency to target Trump's political opponents. Some committee hearings in this coming week to watch. The House Financial Services Committee will meet Wednesday to discuss community banking. Its chair, Representative French Hill of Little Rock, has proposed multiple ideas addressing community banking needs, including adjusting regulations and improving access to capital. That hearing is scheduled to begin 9 a.m. Central Time. The Senate Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry Committee will also meet Wednesday for a hearing on the agricultural economy. Two Arkansans, Nathan Reed of Marianna and Jennifer James of Newport, will appear before lawmakers that day. Reed serves on the board of directors for the National Cotton Council. James is on the board of USA Rice. Senator John Bozen of Rogers presides over the Senate Agriculture Committee as its chair. That hearing will begin 9:30 Wednesday morning. And that'll do it for this edition of Arkies in the Beltway for the week of February 2nd, 2025. You can stay up to date with all news involving Arkansas at arkansasonline.com. You can get in touch with me on social media. My handle across most platforms is @AlexHouseThomas, and you can also find me on Blue Sky. Special thanks, as always, to the team down in Little Rock. I'm Alex Thomas, and this has been Arkies in the Beltway. Thanks for listening.